We are back, and I'm back for my first cast of the LCS 2019 season.
Mine too.
Yours too, damn Skippy. And for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Rivington Bism III, and pleasure to be joined by someone whose name you should have 100% memorized by now. It's Aiden Zyrene Moon. Welcome back to the desk. It's going to be a good season.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, a lot of people have trouble spelling my name, A-I-D-A-N, not E-N.
It happens. It's
yeah,
all right. Now they know.
Memorized.
Let's jump into our next matchup with the roster rundown right on the horizon. On the blue side, it is the reigning champs, Team Liquid. That means it's going to be Impact in the top lane. Xmithie roaming around in that jungle. Jensen now holding down the mid. Doublelift at bot with his new support core, JJ, and Coach Kane.
And selecting the red side, it's going to be Counter Logic Gaming on the opposite end today. In the top lane, substitution of Fallen Bandit, as well as a jungle substitution of Wiggly have been made for them, with Power of Evil in mid, Stixxay bot, and support Biofrost with Coach Weldon on stage.
Very much being able to flex a few synergies in and out. We'll see if it works. CLG's premiere yesterday showed a bit tempered. A slow team that fell victim to Optics tempo.
Yeah, CLG didn't look coordinated at all, and they looked exactly like how you would expect a team that had lost their head coach during the offseason to look, and the cohesion definitely wasn't there. And to throw in another wrench today, like I said earlier, they're substituting in the top laner of Fallen Bandit and the jungler of Wiggly from the Academy this season. But the thing is they actually subbed them in at the end of the LCS last split, and they went undefeated. Wiggly 2-0 and Fallen Bandit with the 1-0 record.
All right, and then we're looking at Team Liquid today with a new mid laner in Jensen, who had the exact kind of premiere you would want if you're looking to turn heads.
Yeah, if you're looking at a TL Jensen premiere, that's exactly what you want to see. A great Cassiopeia performance from him, and against his old team nonetheless. That has to be a big confidence booster for him coming in here. And he was somebody who had been kind of subbed in and out last split at the start for motivation issues. And now the bad news on the other end for CLG's slow start is that they have to deal with a team that had no problem accelerating the game and looked like the back-to-back champions of last year.
It could be difficult, right? Your CLG, you want to have a comeback from yesterday's game, at least go 1-1, and then you're put up against Team Liquid, somebody who's feeling very good and working well with what we've seen so far in the Rift.
Yeah, and if there's anything the anime has ever taught me, it's that strength of will sometimes can topple giants.
Let's see. Remember, it was the CLG when C9 had their win streak. CLG was able to break that back seasons ago. So CLG definitely has that power and that hidden darkness that they can bring out and surprise you. See what the bans are this time. We've seen Aurelia down there quite a bit along with Akali. Galio will start to find himself on that ban list more, and Cassiopeia takes a seat on the bench quite a bit already at the start of 2019.
Things like Lucian, Rakan also jump up in priority in terms of being banned. We've seen some Karthus, not a whole bunch though. And Urgot is another one that gets pretty much taken in either the ban phase or taken in those first few picks.
Yeah, there's Karthus. More fun in the jungle for him from Wiggly. And our final ban is Aatrox. We just saw Niski have quite a game on him in the mid lane.
Okay, so you probably take the Urgot here. That leaves Xayah Rakan open though for Stixxay and Biofrost if they want to take that and get that combination going. But there are still things like the Lucian available, so if you don't want to be locked into the Xayah Rakan, you can take that too. But Hard Engage has been the name of the game so far for the meta this split.
Yep. Not too many fared well on Lucian yesterday in the LCS. Doublelift had his victory, and it was picked a few times, so we'll see. Stixxay might want to try his hand at it today to bring that 1-to-1 to fruition for Counter Logic Gaming.
All right.
Looks like that'll be locked in. They're taking their time here as they go through to sort it out and figure out what they really want to put up against Team Liquid.
Yep, could be the Alistar for support to round out the bottom lane, or they may pick a jungler here, something along the lines of the Camille or the Sejuani to get that very early on, because like we said, Hard Engage is what you want to have.
So Wiggly's going to be able to dictate a bit of those engages now, locking in the Camille. Said that Xayah Rakan's still up. It'll be a quick 1-2 for the side of Team Liquid. So poor JJ Doublelift synergizing very nicely in the bot lane with the Lovers duo. And Power of Evil now to sort out possibly his pick or something that will go in the bot lane there with Fallen Bandit.
Yeah, what I'm very interested in is that Counter Logic Gaming had side selection for this match, and they selected red side, which speaks to me that they have a counter pick waiting to happen. I expect them to pick a Power of Evil champion as their last pick, not here in the draft, because if you're picking red side and you have PoE and he wants to counter Lissandra with something like a Xerath, we're looking for what he's able to bring out because he does have those obtuse champions in his pool specifically for countering matchups.
The better look as well always helps. Yesterday, that Xerath was against 3 hard engages, Leona, Lissandra, Camille, I believe. So it's kind of hard to stand still and do anything as Xerath in that situation. So I like your point there that he's going to go ahead and wait. The Alistar, as you said, was locked in for Biofrost as we see the second phase of bans coming through. Starting off with Gragas for Counter Logic Gaming.
Interesting, because the Gragas, I'm not sure exactly why. It's probably because it's an Xmithie special. The Sejuani is also another tank champion that he could pick up in the jungle. But Xin Zhao also exists right now with the Hail of Blades and can do a fantastic job of skirmishing early with the Camille, as well as level 2 ganking, and covers all those bases. So if they're going to put another ban towards the jungle pool, I would expect it to be something like the Xin and not the Sejuani.
Sion taken out for Fallen Bandit. Can't have as safe as a lane up top.
Yeah, and Fallen Bandit's known to be a Dr. Mundo player. It was kind of people saying, oh, he's a Dr. Mundo one-trick in Academy, right? And the Sion is something that I even got to talk to Broken Blade about because he played his debut LCS game on that Sion. And he said it's actually a really good champion that if you're having any nerves on stage, just play it. You'll be able to do a good job, and it'll kind of center you because your job isn't that difficult to do. And that's exactly why Team Liquid are taking that away here, because they don't want Fallen Bandit to have this champion that he can avoid impact on.
So you feel like Xmithie goes Xin Zhao or something of the like once he gets his pick to stay aggressive early game here?
I would expect that, but there are some other champions that he can go towards. But I do think that the Sejuani ban as well as the Gragas banner to keep him away from tanky things. And we'll see what he pivots towards himself. Because yesterday, he played the Lee Sin, which he may go towards again here because he did have a really good game on it.
True. Was not expecting to see that for day one. Not expecting to see that today either, but I like it. We have seen a few cross regions. Kennen's locked in for the side. Fallen Bandit looks like he wants to have a safe lane and then be able to participate in those team fights.
Yeah, the Kennen, interesting. I wonder if it'll be an on-hit Kennen or if it'll end up being something along the lines of the AP Kennen. I don't know if Hail of Blades / going for the press the attack is a good option in the top side. And there's the Lee Sin once again, like he played yesterday.
Xmithie looking to make more plays. Got a lot that can dive in and out. A lot of that area control here by the Kennen and the Camille. So they're looking to pick those off. Lee Sin to be in and out, grab somebody with Urgot. I like both teams. They have different ideas, though, as they come together.
Yeah, it's funny, though, because when you think of Xmithie, a lot of people think of the tank play, the Gragas, the Sejuani. I think of way back in the day, Vulcan, XDGG, those teams where he was the most improved player, and he had actually played the Lee Sin and was one of the best Lee Sins in the NALCS at the time. But that was almost 6 years ago at this point, back in Season 3.
It is pretty crazy to think about. Maybe we'll bring out the Nasus for us soon with the Nasus stack changes. Xmithie actually has a huge champion pool. But
it's so hard to play the Nasus here, though.
No, of course, obviously. But it sorts to whatever team he needs to play on. And that's with his mindset, with how long he's been playing. He's such a veteran. He brings so much to a team. He doesn't have to just be on those tanks. Like you said, back on that Lee Sin, we get Orion in the mid lane for Power of Evil, the wheelhouse champion. We're hoping he can get something to feel really good coming into today's game because it is not going to be easy against Jensen.
Yeah, and Jensen on Team Liquid was just pretty much a lot of people's minds. It's an upgrade on this team that already had 2 championships back-to-back last year, and then they improved on it with Core JJ and Jensen. And Team Liquid, their issues were, hey, maybe they can't play through the mid lane as much, and then Doublelift wanted somebody he could lane a little harder with, and they seemed to get exactly what the doctor ordered in the offseason. And now I'm looking at PoE on this Orianna. Yesterday, he wasn't able to kind of pop off at all on the Xerath. The Orianna, like you said, signature champion for him. Is it the Nashor's Tooth today? What will he be building on this champion?
There's got to be a lot of hugs coming in from this team of Team Liquid. You got the Rakan jumping in. Lissandra's going to be okay to be there. Lee Sin, Urgot disdaining in to get a flip. So we'll see if he goes with that tried and true Nashor's Tooth build. And we will see if CLG can take down Team Liquid, or if Team Liquid's going to come away this week 2-0.
Team Liquid want to have that 2-0 to make the statement of we are here to not just dominate domestically like last year, but international competition has always been their goal. And whenever somebody kind of says we focus on, MSI and Worlds international play, and they don't do well domestically, people come out and have those harsh criticisms right off the bat. So they want to silence all the haters and immediately say, no, we're here to play ball.
All right, well, we are about to be on the Rift with Team Liquid versus Counter Logic Gaming. 2019 LCS. is very much in the works, and we are about to see who these top teams really are, and if TL can hold that position so far. Looking for the 2-0. CLG looking to be a thorn in their side. Off on the Rift, line of scrimmage to be set up here, like we were saying. A lot of that AoE fight composition for Counter Logic Gaming. With that pick of Lissandra as well, that kind of turns into it for Team Liquid. But they still could pick off. They still have those Rakan picks, the quickness, the charm. I can't wait for these team fights to start off.
Yeah, they're going to be fast team fights as well. A lot of pick potential and a lot of team fighting from both teams. I'm looking at Fallen Bandit here. He has the Kleptomancy on the Kennen. He started with E as well, so he's looking to kind of bully back this bully lane and try to end up with more gold and rush towards those expensive items. I think he'll be going AP when I see Kleptomancy because those items are a little bit more expensive than the attack speed ones. And your buck goes a little bit further with those items too.
It's quite squishy on the side of Team Liquid as well. A big slicing Maelstrom could really change a team fight with what these guys are going to be building on the side of TL.
And they're going to have Wiggly alongside Power of Evil trying to make a combination happen, maybe with Biofrost in there too, with the Cowball delivery, an old CLG classic from back in the day when Aphromoo was there.
A lot of things to really help each other synergize. Wiggly keeps someone in, definitely someone going down by slicing Maelstrom, or the Cowball, like you said. Looking at the side of TL, though, what do they have to offer? Where does this team turn on, and at what point?
Yeah, for them, I'm actually interested that Jensen took Comet in the mid lane, because we're normally seeing Aftershock Lissandra almost every single time.
Right.
But Jensen's actually playing an offensive Lissandra here. I wonder if he'll go for the Oblivion Orb early after the Proto Belt, but so far it looks like he's going for an aggressive build, and that's what I'm looking at is Xmithie, Jensen, to try and dominate that mid part of the map and roam, whereas the bottom lane is most likely what they're going to play through here with the Xayah Rakan shoving.
Quick try of damage trade there with the Battle Dance for Team Liquid. Just quick scuttle grab for Xmithie as he's bot lane. If they did get in a fight, definitely in their favor. And right, top side here, Wiggly making sure he can sweep on the way out.
Yeah, it's the level 2 gank here. He has to go right now, or else Impact will hit that 2. And
you don't say.
Fallen Bandit has to flash.
Oh, he actually flashes for it. Going to be a Q and a W, stuns him in place. Will they have enough damage? However, you're going to keep him under his turret, but Impact stays alive and holds his flash on that.
Yep, and the fact that there wasn't really any damage in Keystone there, it's just the Kleptomancy. He does have a potion running because of it. It's not going to be enough damage there. And if you're waiting for that Urgot to hit level 2, that's not going to help you out. You're still going to be level 2 on the gank. So I feel like Wiggly should have pulled the trigger on a little faster, and Fallen Bandit should have put pressure on earlier if they were going to make that play happen.
It feels really bad to lose your flash as Kennen as well, especially in lane. If he keeps pushed up, you got to save Lightning Rush to get out. So keep an eye on that for Xmithie's pathing back towards the top.
Yeah, but what's happened here is they've now split the jungle. It's what people call vertical jungling here, where Wiggly is now on the top half of the map, and Xmithie has to go to the bottom side to get camps. So Xmithie will be able to kind of force this off. Look what they're doing. They're actually going, Stixxay and Biofrost were going to spot Xmithie and figure out exactly what he was doing. He did take those camps, and they can call that out.
They get the TP from Impact. Camps are traded on both sides as Xmithie now heads down for his Krug camp. Mid lane quite even to start things off.
As a jungler right here, though, for Wiggly in particular, tracking him, after you do that top part of the map, you either go take the Wolves. Taking the Raptors as Camille is really difficult. You have to have the kind of jungle upgraded item, the Skirmisher Saber, for the burn on them before you can really take them out and not just get beaten up by them. So at that point, you go for the back, and then you continue your jungle route here and wait for your camps to respawn, because the Urgot had to shove out anyway, so there's not much he can do, so he's optimizing his time by getting a recall in between.
Safe play on the bot side. Seeing Wiggly have the top a little bit behind the farm as Xmithie has stayed out. When can they somewhat meet, right? When does Wiggly want to meet him? Does Wiggly want to avoid the pathing of Xmithie and just gank, or doesn't?
It really depends, because the Camille, I feel like, is a good duelist, but you do have to get to a point where you get the jump on people with your CC, and you can get the first part of the precision protocol running. Because if you get that going later in the fight, it's not going to help you out as much. Sticking to the target will be a little bit more difficult. So I think he kind of wants to avoid Xmithie in the early parts of the game, but he's willing to take 2-on-2s that he engages. But he still is playing to the top side of the map. This will be his second Krugs, which is the one that everybody kind of wants for the extra experience. Xmithie takes his first back and just gets some long swords in. So now you definitely don't want to cross him in a dark jungle alley.
The red smite kick in the face would not be what Wiggly wants right now. he heads towards his bot, he's going to clear wolves and see what maybe he can make happen within these lanes.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a Scuttle Crab afterwards. We'll see PoE. How close is he to 6? Yeah, this is the push-up. PoE is shoving so that they can get crab priority, and this is the mid-lane jungle just shoving in to make sure that they can grab that extra camp. But we'll see if Xmithie has anything to say about it.
Clear went towards the top. I don't think it snuck onto Wiggly just yet, though. So they get Scuttle control. He'll hover in the back pocket of Jensen for just a little bit here in the mid lane, and I think he's been unseen. Engaged in the bot side, CoreJJ looking pretty low as they get a good stun onto Biofrost. A quick trade back and forth, but it makes Wiggly smell blood here, and he may wait to see if they can get the engage.
I believe they spotted him with the ward that's right there in the brush above Stixxay. He may have snuck by it, but I feel like that would have spotted him because it's to the left side of it. So they know that he's there.
Yeah. Not enough wandering eyes in the team fight.
Yeah, and that means that Xmithie is going to go put his Ghost Toro in the top side there and put it right by the red buff. So he'll see that respawn, and he may invade that depending on if Impact has priority or not. So Impact takes it back now so he can spend his gold, and they might go for an invade to kind of take the top side of the map back.
Nice attacks from Biofrost, trying to get advantage in lane down here on this bot side. His double lift is low on mana. Can't trade too much, but auto attacks back at Stixxay and Biofrost as they keep a bit of a CS lead, and this lane control helps them get a little bit of that dragon pressure down. Ocean Break now over to CLG, so that Scuttle Crab pays off as well. Everybody's working together very well here as Team Liquid seems to be sizing up their opponent.
Yeah, and there's about a 600 gold lead already for CLG through Fallen Bandit with the Kleptomancy, and a little bit through Biofrost as well with the gold generation from his item. It's actually interesting because he's got about 300 or 240 gold more, but that's not what you see on the item there. So he may have actually taken one or two things by himself. There's no plates gone. So yeah, he actually just has more gold straight up from that. Interesting.
Oh, Bandit not doing too bad against Impact in the top lane. It seems like they said, we'll give a little bit of help in the top, right to start, push Impact back, keep Fallen Bandit possibly up a level, and that'll really help him keep that lane contained.
Yeah, and the fact that Impact has swapped to the Ignite gives him some all-in potential. Xmithie on the bottom side grabbing his red, going to his Raptors, and then we'll rotate towards the top side. But they spotted Wiggly there. He hasn't removed the Ghost Coral by walking into the brush and seeing it. So it saw that he was there earlier. So they know that Wiggly's on the top side and that he didn't move and rotate towards the top side either. So they know that he's going to be on the bottom side of the map here in a second, most likely going for the Scuttle, which everybody is here. This is the Scuttle Scuffle.
Biofrost flexing there for a little bit. Just stood still. He's like, who wants to fight me right now?
This is Crab Logic Gaming right now, because they are just going after that Scuttle Crab every time. Like, everybody's actually contributing to trying to get Wiggly this Scuttle Crab here. And now that the wave's been shoved in, he's going to go do his blue, and then now Xmithie is coming through, and they're going to have that priority because the bottom lane was able to shove once more. So, honestly, if the Crab had spawned 5-10 seconds earlier, it would have been theirs, but that's good from TL to have the appropriate timer on when they should shove the wave and contest.
Kind of watching from afar, knowing that they have the advantage.
Uh-oh.
Playing it very slowly. Power of Evil hits the ultimate onto Xmithie, but taking damage
Wiggly
from
wants to
Jensen.
go. He
Can't really
can.
follow up. Dissonance not there, as the cooldown was still coming up, and Xmithie makes it out alive. But pressure here for CLG.
Yeah, and Wiggly accidentally took the blue buff away from Power of Evil, and they saw Xmithie was low going to the top side of the map. Now it's time to make a multi-man play on the bottom side here. They're sweepering through Double Lift and CoreJJ. Have to be careful. CoreJJ is not 6 just yet. Double Lift is. He can avoid a gank, but CoreJJ is the primary target that they want to go for here. If they can see him in the bush, there they should go.
Battle Dance back. Nice pulverize. Biofrost gets himself out. Tries to get the trample down, but no deals for him. Still 0-0, 9 minutes in. As CLG is really trying to get something towards this bot lane or towards that mid lane.
That was actually really good from CoreJJ to get out with the Battle Dance, like you said, immediately. Because if they had vision of that bush, it would have pushed him into the wall, and then he would have been knocked up really close to their side, where Wiggly could potentially trap him in with the Hextech Ultimatum. But now, Stixxay has to be careful, because the level 6 coming out from the Rakan and CoreJJ means that they could get a kill here if he goes all in.
Jensen's teleport not up, but he has a significant lead here in CS. That is piling into the turret, so some to pick up for Power of Evil, but it seems like Jensen may have the upper hand on Roam here as things start to break into the laning phase. For now, Power of Evil goes, puts that pink down in the mid lane to keep himself safe as we watch bottom go back and forth and tit for tat. So he walks back, he'll have teleport back up as well. That'll be nice for map pressure once it comes time.
Yeah. Like you said, Jensen doing well in the CS department.
And you would hope
he's able to do pressure.
Yeah, you would hope that he would start really well. Jensen coming onto TL, coming from Cloud9, played incredibly well on the world stage, right? Was he going to be able to just keep doing the same performances? And it's tested day one, still came up pretty good.
Yeah, the Cassiopeia, I feel like in the composition they were playing, shouldn't have been able to have any business in the mid-range area against a long-range poke team.
Right.
But that's kind of on the enemy misplaying it too. And we'll see right here, CLG have kind of been containing the roams, contesting Scuttle Crabs, getting vision around the bottom side. When I talked about it earlier, Xmithie kind of wants to play through mid and Jensen to play through Doublelift and Core JJ as a four-man unit on the bottom side. But CLG have been preventing that with their vision and the contesting of the Crabs, as well as PoE trying to shove Jensen in as much as he can. So I feel like CLG know what TL are trying to do, and they're playing around it appropriately. And CLG have effectively slowed the game down. We talked about it earlier, Riv, when we were talking about how CLG, they kind of had the game get out of hand. And TL, they're the ones who increased the tempo. And this is a slowed down game, which I think favors CLG right now. But TL, they can always turn on the afterburners.
We're losing that grip on Scuttle Crabs, but the fight bot lane. TL coming up big. Doublelift able to put the fire down onto Stixxay. Core JJ went in very hard with that quickness, ignite, and a flash. So they're going to look to get a little bit more vision forward here so nothing scary happens as they pressure Drake. That'll be nice Infernal towards the ocean so far as we start things here.
An all-in to kind of get what you can, even if it's damage, to push out Stixxay, and then that means you can go ahead and force it back and take the Infernal Drake. So Core JJ and Doublelift playing around the fact that Xmithie's on the bottom side, and they want that Drake.
They get Stixxay's heal out of it, but the Drake, as we said, going over. So Blade of the Ruined King 2BF. Probably waiting for a back here as well for that to get a little bit better. Power of Evil gets help from Wiggly in the mid lanes. Yeah, Storm Razor coming up for Doublelift. Still waiting for a kill in this game. 10 minutes hit, so we have our stopwatches up. A very pivotal point here for someone to pop off in team fights. And Fallen Bandit, I'm surprised. I guess I'm not surprised. They kept Camille top, like you said, in the vertical jungling, and that flash was never abused that Fallen Bandit had to use on his first gank. So a really great job at keeping everybody safe, even though they wanted to try something early.
Yeah, and now it's 3-man in the mid lane, but going after Jensen's going to be rough. Ooh, he misses it!
Shockwave goes, Glacial Path gets him to safety. Hextech Ultimatum on the Frozen Tomb. Is there enough damage? Into Sonya's! Can he buy enough time? Core JJ and Xmithie over the wall. There's Battle Dance in, and they're gonna get the knockup. They hit him right back. Power of Evil in a real bad spot. As Xmithie wants a little bit more, but he misses the Sonic Wave, and it is not gonna happen for either team. 0-0 still.
That's just back and forth in terms of missing abilities. Wiggly not able to latch onto the wall was big because it gave Jensen a lot of room and time to get the Glacial Path off. Otherwise, he would have been stuck there way further out in the middle of the lane. And those are the nerves that you talk about where, sure, landing a hook shot on the wall, second nature, but he went for the one that's a little greedy all the way out to the side. You can hook a little bit past that little fire right there, that lantern. You can get right on the edge of it. It almost hooks into the air, but it's too far there. And then Jensen makes it out with the Glacial Path. He's able to get him right in the middle of the lane. It's a whole different fight there. Poor JJ and Xmithie aren't able to reinforce over the wall like that if he's in the middle. And then the kickback from Xmithie, but the turret is not on Power of Evil. Yeah. And then the follow-up Q not missing, or not hitting either.
Oof. So core items being finished up here. Power of Evil just coming back to lane. So he finishes up his boots first before he goes for that Ludens.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest thing to come out of that play is that Fallen Bandit gets a turret plating on that top side, and I believe they also got a middle turret plating here for Cloud9. So
good call.
For TL. It's not Jensen, man. I'm having a Jensen. Oh man. But yeah, no, for Jensen, he was able to get one in the mid lane, and then on the top side, Fallen Bandit was able to get the turret plating too.
Little huzzah, Biofrost getting some help to clear that one out. Where JJ still wants.
I believe only there were 3 turret plates that went down in this game. 1 top, 1 bot, and 1 in the mid lane. So this was a very controlled laning phase for both teams. And like League of Legends is incredibly codependent. So when you have something happen like a flash being burned on your top laner, you have this section off the map as a jungler, and then go to the top side and look at this.
Oh, hook shot in. Quick kill onto Xmithie. Core JJ may try to get him with Jensen. Ring of Frost goes down, but it doesn't hold them long enough as the quickness goes in for a charm. Wiggly now should be going down here. Ignites there, and Doublelift finds the last auto attack. A follow-on to Biofrost will not continue, though, as Jensen's the only one there trailing. And back and forth, 1-for-1 as we start things off.
And Stixxay stayed bottom side. That was a priority rotation from Doublelift and Core JJ, playing for the team, not playing for the lane, actually sacrificing damage on that turret to get that counter kill.
Feels nice for Doublelift. He just came out of base to get himself a kill. He did a flash to get into range for all of that situation, so needs that ult for safety. And we'll see it one more time here. You can see Doublelift in the bot. He's like, oh, a fight. I need to get up there as CLG engages.
PoE missing the shockwave there, pretty much getting all the camps. I guess he secured the Raptors, but then Wiggly goes in, and then he gets CC'd down by the charm, followed by Jensen's ultimate, and then the ignite, and the final shot there from Doublelift to seal the deal.
Picking himself up some Ninja Tabis to stay safe in all these Wiggly engages. Fallen Bandit. Feeling like that sixth sense is kicking in the top lane, but he'll stay safe under his turret. As Rift Herald is looked at here by Team Liquid. Even though Xmithie went down, they are able to kind of stave off the pressure of the fights and pull it back in their favor. So they're getting something out of all of these little hits.
Yeah, and now they're warding up the bottom side of the map, playing for that Infernal Drake, which is up in 40 seconds. But Xmithie is working on that Rift Herald, like you said. They want to get this bottom turret down. It's below half HP. And I've been loving what Power People has been doing with the Shockwave. He's throwing it out on cooldown. I've seen so many Oriannas just hold that ability. He's fishing for flashes, fishing for ultimates, making you dodge it. And now immediately, first turret goes down bottom. Xmithie's gonna try to retaliate with the top one.
Great wards by CLG, keeping them protected down here as Rift Herald goes towards the top. Power People to clear mid, so that doesn't fall.
But that's the thing. The Rift Herald is top. Xmithie isn't. Xmithie's going to go straight towards the Infernal Drake on the bottom side and try to contest this. So the jungler is not assisting the Rift Herald in the top turret.
He's got his hands in all the pies.
Exactly. He's actually in two places at once.
We'll see if they can make it happen. They don't actually have too much pressure from CLG as they get down onto it. Yeah, Alistar's waiting in the wing, and they have Stixxay, but two can't be fighting three
well, Fallen Bandit
The rest
TP,
of the cavalry
TP.
comes in, a dissonance in for Power People and Wiggly to get that speed as the teleport comes in. Will he have to flash over the wall to get the cannon ulti in? He's trying to go the long way around, and TL has 4 stacked on the top side. Jensen gets in with a nice throw.
Fallen Bandit!
Keep himself alive, Hex Tech, but it's not gonna hit. He doesn't have the distance. Wiggly in the pit with 2v1 now. Fear Beyond Death drags him under, and Fallen Bandit's gonna have the lightning rush away as CLG is scattered out of this fight.
They lose the Infernal Drake, they lose Wiggly, and they get nothing in return for it as they lose the top turret as well. Fallen Bandit goes the absolute wrong way around the Dragon Pit.
Dude, I would have flashed over the pit.
He has to flash on the right side of it. Basically, he could have flashed over, he could have gone to the left. He chooses the right and goes the safest way possible.
Whew. See the replay on this.
Yeah, let's see that one more time. Because if he goes to the left, TL will see him, but they have vision with that control ward of who is on that left side. If he's able to provide pressure on the left half of this fight, instead of going to the right side, exactly. If he's over there on the left, TL has to position differently, and then right there, he's not even getting the flash out of Doublelift. He doesn't have it, because he used it earlier to get the kill on the Wiggly.
That was going to be huge.
Fallen Bandit saw the opportunity, but he went about it and navigated it the incorrect way, and Xmithie still gets the Drake in front of Wiggly.
So 2 Infernals now as that damage builds up here for Team Liquid. They did not let much happen. Oh, nice shockwave right on Doublelift. Here comes the command. Move is not enough to take Doublelift down. Might be a retaliation, but you're right. On cooldown, that shockwave is out. The pressure in the lane wasn't created enough to get him away because Xmithie and Core JJ were there, but he is ready and raring to take people down when that is up.
That was 14 HP. That was so close. Legitimately, if he had another stack on his Dark Seal, that would have been a kill with those AP ratios from all the abilities coming in.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
All it had to be was 14. That's it. That's all he needed.
His flash there in mid lane recently lost as well, as you can see it on cooldown. The big teleports coming in around the map. We just had actually a switch from Impact on TP, as you can see that cooling up. He's pushing bot lane. He may want to join his team top. His Core JJ's trying to get this vision down. Dangerous game. He's got that dance to get out as he puts down vision. So CLG looking to gain more control over objectives and put them back in the game. They're trying to keep TL off that river vision.
Oh, whoop, whoa.
Just a love bump.
Yeah, he like slid off the minion there. Interesting. But he still gets out, doesn't have to blow a flash for it. But like we said, Power of Evil is blowing that ultimate on cooldown, just trying to make something happen. He's been a big catalyst on the previous teams that he's been on, and now on CLG, he's trying to step up again. Gold is even, though, with 2 Infernal Drakes in favor of Team Liquid, so he does feel a little bit of this pressure, but he's holding his own against Jensen here. 10 CS up, and the fact that he has a gold bounty on him without actually having any kills means that he's CSing well, and he's got a lot more gold in the game.
And it plays kind of the way you want to say it on cooldown, because he's not building the Nashers, he's getting more penetration right away. He just wants to get the damage down. So definitely changing his play style when he thinks it is applicable. Also, this is a really hard team to try and get a bunch of auto attacks on and do a whole bunch of damage. Usually see big tanky guys getting that treatment. So 33.5 to 33.8, still quite even on gold. 2 turrets now in the favor of Team Liquid as they look to pressure down onto that bot turret still.
Blue buff picked up by Power of Evil, getting ready for this next fight here, because it looks like they're going to try to contest at least mid lane and the top side of the map here, while Fallen Bandit's on the bottom half. So CLG and Team Liquid are both focused on this top quadrant, trying to make sure that the Baron is secured and that mid lane priority goes over to them, especially with that Infernal Drake coming up in a minute. And it's the 3rd Infernal.
Drakes and Scuttles have really gated our game right now. 21 minutes. Big fight over the bottom. Once Team Liquid is able to grab bottom, they've pretty much been able to grab the top one as well, so Wiggly has been pushed off. So CLG is looking for some direction back in. Which is the best right now? Kind of what is that? Wait for Core JJ or actually find your own in?
Yeah, and you have to talk about the pressure that's going to be on Wiggly and Fallen Bandit. We've already seen it this game. Even the level 1 right from the get-go. Wiggly didn't go immediately. Fallen Bandit wasn't able to capitalize. And then Wiggly in the mid, but hold on, another fight.
Core JJ very low. He may be able to dance out of this one, but he wants to get the charm down first. Thinking about the team and keeping himself alive. A nice disdain down onto Fallen Bandit. He's going to be in a bad fight as Jensen's now chased away by Force. They do find the caboose on the end of the train there, taking down Fallen Bandit. And now TL can come from every direction on the right side of the map. They're going to have to force CLG out. But great fight for TL as they look for more.
And that is a tragic time for Counter Logic Gaming to have that fight break out, because Fallen Bandit's flash was 10 seconds away from being back up, and he would have flashed into the team with the ultimate on. And that's where you saw him kind of walk up. It's like, I'm sorry, guys, it was just a joke, and then try to turn around because he didn't have the flash. It was so close to being available.
Feels bad. It really does. You're like right there on the cusp of a gigantic play, and
sometimes you press
you're the only one that ends up going down.
Yeah, sometimes you press it and you're like, why isn't it going off? And then you realize.
When you look at 10 seconds, you think it's 1 second? No. We'll see how this happens one more time. Core JJ able to do quite a bit here to help himself and the team get out on the top of this fight.
And the TP from Jensen allowing them to zone, and then they back up. And then Fallen Bandit, he doesn't have the flash. It's coming up now as he's dead. And that is where it's tragic, because he uses his ultimate, which means he can't make that snap play as soon as he respawns. He has to wait until the ulti comes back, which then buys more time.
It's almost one of those games, because it's also, Impact was there, had the Righteous Glory, so you're also Randuin, so it doesn't even matter if you use your Lightning Rod. Like, everything's just working against him right now. So there is like a mental that needs to almost change, but he can't break, right? He needs to know this is going to be a tough game, and they are still very much in this.
Yeah, and he has a moment coming up for him where it's going to be ultimate up, flash up, and he has the hourglass. He has the stopwatch available.
2 items finished too.
If he's able to get into the fight and decimate the backline, or at least control it or get flashes, he's going to be in a great spot. But so far, Jensen and Core JJ's crowd control have been on point. I absolutely love how Core JJ is getting away from these fights by the skin of his teeth on the Rakan. The R into the E. He's even using his skin, I believe. So, no, saying, I earned this.
Yep. That's pretty funny. Good mention there. A quick hook shot into Xmithie. Hextech Ultimatum goes in. A quick kick to Wiggly gets him out, but Biofrost may be the one going down here. Fallen Bandit just around on the outside. He's got everything up for this fight, but does he have the grouping of TL that he wants? Biofrost still going down as they take down Impact on the top side behind Red. And now it's about to be TL backing off, as they know they lost the member they need in these fights.
Yeah, they killed Impact. Impact down means we're going to have 6A go to the top side. It's going to be wave management in the mid, because if you look at the map, it's still very much so Team Liquid favored with 4 turrets to 1. They have to pick up some of these turrets to open up the map to allow their minion waves to push further, which will give them more time after they get a kill to go do objectives before Team Liquid can check them. So that pick is kind of just a drop in the bucket here for CLG. But if CLG start getting these turrets, they could once again surge ahead in gold because they have 3 turrets available for the taking to even it up versus TL, which would give them a gold lead.
And they have a team comp that can be relentless when they're on the siege, too. You're going to have the ball move forward all the time. A lot of damage there to dodge. Q's coming in. The fear of Alistar wanting to go under. They have a lot of options if they get a little bit ahead, but they keep falling a little bit behind here. Fallen Bandit, kind of a dark roam through the jungle. This is a bit scary as he goes for a ward, but he seems to be safe as he knows where they are on the map.
It's a hard game for him because if he goes in and he gets CC'd by Jensen or CoreJJ before he gets the snap cast off, then he's going to be a goner, or Smithy kicks him. So many Kennans have looked the fool when they get kicked out of a team fight by a Lee Sin or headbutted out by an Alistar. And if Smithy's on point and able to stop that, then it'll kind of take away or steal that moment from Fallen Bandit that he's been looking for this whole game.
Look at all this shred as well on the side of TL. That's not even like Biofrost lasts very long in these fights.
Yeah.
That's pretty much their only tank.
The Black Cleaver stacking is very potent against people who are going to have armor, and everybody's pretty much going to have some armor later in the game, potentially Guardian Angel for Wiggly, etc. But this turret in mid, wide open with that mid priority that Team Liquid have.
Smithy sees Wiggly, communicates to the team as they start to pincer in onto Impact. Remember, he went down behind the red last fight.
Fallen Bandit's in!
This one, he wants to help. Bandit's in with Slicing Maelstrom, but is he going to be able to do enough damage? Gets feared on that one as Impact gets a good hit off, keeps himself alive. Fallen Bandit's going to go down as Biofrost could be next with Stixxay just on the left. Doublelift wants in, but he turns back quickly. A shield onto Jensen keeps him alive as that Ignite ticks down, and Team Liquid make it out with a sliver of health on many members, and Doublelift still doesn't want to stop this fight. CoreJJ's there to help with Xmithie.
And that was the moment where Fallen Bandit goes, he has to seize it, he has to go in and try to make it happen. He almost does, but he just barely can't reach the priority targets. He gets 1 or 2 ticks on them, but not enough to really kind of bring the fight home for CLG. And Team Liquid, I gotta say, CoreJJ has been impressing me over and over again in this game. It seems like those tiny things where it's like, man, he must be so lucky getting away every single time. But look at that, the battle dance into the wrap everybody up with the charm. Then he flashes away, and then the root there, keep him away. The fear after Impact gets the execute, and then Jensen barely gets out here. Ignite is on him. There's the first shield, waits for it to expire. There's the second shield, keeps Jensen alive. So he's managing all these things at once. He's like the best babysitter in the world.
That's one of my favorite things about support. That's why I play it, is you just get to play a mini game in each fight with everybody on your team. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Like, he's running around going like, no, don't put that in your mouth. No, Doublelift, come over here.
Don't touch that, it's hot.
Jensen, what are you doing? And he's doing so much in these fights. The multitasking that he's able to have and the shift in mindset of, I need to be aggressive now, and I need to be defensive and kind of, you don't have infinite cooldowns. He has to choose how he's using them and use them wisely in these fights. And he's doing exactly that in every single one, which is making it so that TL edges these fights out over and over again.
It's going to be sad next patch. That's all I have to say. But he'll still be CoreJJ. Doublelift now Infinity Edge as he goes 3 items to Stixxay's 2 as he just starts to surmount a little bit too much with these repetitive kills going in favor of the marksman. 3-1-1 for Impact as he's been really in the nitty-gritty of the fight, being that tank so everybody can organize. Again, he's there for the initiation, and he still wants more of it. A nice charm, a good hit, and Power of Evil is down. Fallen Bandit doing what he can in a 3v1, but it's not going to be enough as he also gets put in the shredder. A double kill for Doublelift, and now Biofrost is in the 1v2. Impact says, you're in here with me, and Wiggly cannot even enter the fight as he watches it happen on all fronts.
Yeah, the engage, once again, CoreJJ, super fast. He didn't even have Flash there, and he gets the cleanse out of Power of Evil. I don't think he's able to cleanse Flash fast enough, so he eats the knockup, which you can't cleanse out of immediately after, right? It's the charm into knockup. Sure, you can get one part off, but the second one is going to be too much. That or the root came through from Doublelift. We'll have to see it one more time, but it is just this duet that is being played in the bottom lane of CC.
Baron pressure now in favor of Team Liquid. 29-25 into the game. With a 6,000 gold lead, we'll see this fight one more time. And again, Impact is just ready on the front line searching. He's just fishing with his body, really.
Yeah, and like, they back up. CoreJJ goes forward, gets the charm into the knockup. Yeah, and he's rooted, and the knockup was enough there. or sorry, he's charmed.
Right.
And the knockup, you can't cleanse that out. So he tries to cleanse Flash. It's not going to be enough there. It's a quick pick onto him, and he had a big bounty on his head too. I think he was sporting about 600 gold in terms of bounty. And now you can see Doublelift has the 900 bounty for himself, the QSS to his name.
QSS, yeah, I was going to mention that. He needs to stay safe.
And now Power of Evil has to be on major wave clear duty here, just spamming the Orianna abilities, the W, the Q,
Yep.
try and make sure that he can keep the pressure off, but you can't do that in every lane, and the Kennen doesn't have the same type of wave clear. For Team Liquid, the slow game is showing it doesn't have to be a scrappy, kind of all over the place fight. And CoreJJ is able to control a lot of these alongside Jensen and Xmithie. And this has been a game that a lot of Team Liquid fans will go, yeah, they can play the fast game, they can play the slow game,
right.
They can play the game where fights sometimes look unavoidable, and then you try to lose the minimum for it. But the flash out of PoE with Xmithie with the feint.
Yeah, just going in, applying some red buff and saying, this could be the death of you. And yeah, he has the flash. 5-minute cooldown on that for him. Turret's going to be taking out some turrets as Wiggly goes in hard on Doublelift. They want the back line. He's going to get all the help from CoreJJ, and Doublelift stands tall. A few more attacks, and there it is. Fallen Bandit has finally found his mark. Is it enough, though? Enough Team Liquid members still in the base, and CLG has to turn tail and start heading the wrong way. Stixxay's in there with Xmithie, but he's going to take enough turret shot. That'll be Xmithie going down. It's heated up, but not enough. TL is too hot on this one. Stixxay, one last auto. Jensen not having the Frost Shard in range to get the kill with the Q. And now the inhibitor's gonna go down. They are on the Iron Lung, but CLG is still trying to stop this engage from Team Liquid.
Yeah, they had a flank. It was the right idea there. Fallen Bandit comes in from the backside, but then the front side, you gotta watch both sides of the flank, and they get absolutely trounced underneath the turret. They lose 2 inhibitors, and you'll see it again right here. The flank comes through, the TP on the ward, Fallen Bandit comes through, they get on a Doublelift, wait out the ultimate, use the ulti, but on the top side, Impact, going after Power of Evil, gets the ultimate, gets the fear, buys some time, but then they're like, look at that.
So much for one.
Stixxay is zoned off, those are the damage dealers, right? The Kennen is zoned to the bottom side, and then Stixxay as well as Power of Evil, yeah, oh man, and then it's like, tag, get in there. Another shield, oh man, CoreJJ just gave him a shield for the road there.
Fantastically done.
And back to the slaughter.
Woo! Right to the batting order. They only need top if they want to run through it. Bot lane minions and mid are coming in strong here as cavalry. 10-3, 32 minutes in. That's 3 Infernos in a mountain. So that even to boot is putting a little bit of pain with each swing that TL is hitting CLG with. And now it's going to be the minions that are just going to be too hard for CLG to deal with as TL puts the cherry on the top for a possible 2-0 week to start. The second Nexus turret looks to fall here as Wiggly gets his hit in and out. He's just trying to deter, but how much can you at this point?
Wiggly wants to go in on Doublelift.
Impact dive, but so does Wiggly. They got to go the opposite ways. Which way did he go, George? A nice shockwave coming in from Power of Evil, but it's not enough damage in the beginning. It's all front end burst with no follow-up, and CLG falls. Another double kill for Doublelift, and that's going to be Team Liquid raking in the win. A 2-0 week to start the 2019 LCS season.
Stocks are rising for TL. And CoreJJ's especially. That was an amazing game. If you want to have a game where people start looking at you as one of the people who came into this team during the offseason, the back-to-back champions, and say, hey, that was an upgrade, you look at that game right there. Game 1 on day 1 was about Jensen. This one is about CoreJJ.
Give me some CoreJJ coin.
Lock
it in.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my friend. It has already tripled its price.
Oh, no.
As
just
we're
in a week. That's how it works, though. You have to act fast, and that's what Team Liquid did. In the beginning, game 1, they had to act fast. Game 2, they know how to play it slow. Their portfolio looks quite nice, and they'll be able to continue with a lot of this success. Like you said, you can look to get a carry from any position on this team.
Yeah, and we got to give credit pretty much across the board. Xmithie did a good job controlling the jungle. Impact avoided a gank very early on so that it wasn't Fallen Bandit taking over the game, as well as Wiggly. And Jensen able to hold his own in the mid, pressure Power of Evil, and get some good team fighting going too. So honestly, across the board, they did a fantastic job. And this team, we thought it would be a slow start for them because they brought in 2 new people, but they have not missed a beat.
No, they have not. So let's send it down to Avli and the Team Liquid bot laner for more on that win.
Thanks, Riv. Double Lift, congratulations on the 2-0 weekend for Team Liquid. You guys are coming in as the back-to-back split champs, and earlier you said that earning anything less than that is a failure. Don't you think that's a lot of pressure to be putting on yourself for week one?
Yeah, but I always win, so I have to keep it up.
Now with that, I mean, is there a change in mentality at all? I mean, before last year, you guys were coming in to try to achieve that, and now is it more of just like a, well, we need to?
Well, last year I think we were really good, but it was like a big struggle to be first. I think we were like pretty narrowly able to win, and then this year I think we had a lot of changes on our roster, and I think we upgraded. So hopefully we're even better. Like that's the plan, to be even better. I think a lot of the teams got weakened as well, like C9. So that was really important, taking away their best player. So it's like, it's pretty hard to top what we've already done, but I have my sights set on Worlds and MSI, but obviously we have to win here first.
Well, let's talk about one of your upgrades. CoreJJ coming in the bot lane, former world champion. Is he meeting your expectations for a support?
Yeah, Core is actually way, way better than I expected, and I already expected a lot, so definitely the best lane partner I've ever had. Sorry to all my former lane partners, but he's insane. Core is like definitely one of the smartest players. Over the last few years, like I had a shot call from every team I've been on, basically, and basically starting on TSM. And then with this roster, I basically could have my mic muted, we'd still win, which is really, really nice because I can focus completely on my individual play, and like I can make basically as little mistakes as possible. I can focus on what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong a lot more than like what the team's doing right and wrong. So Core's like insane because he's an amazing individual player and he's an amazing teammate, but he also makes all the calls for our team. And I think that's probably the biggest piece that we needed.
And next week you play 100 Thieves and Bang in the bot lane. What are your thoughts going into that matchup with Core?
Yeah, it's CoreJJ versus Afromoose, so I think it'll be pretty easy.
All right, Double Lift, thank you and congratulations again. And for more on the game, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Avli. Won't be a slow start for Team Liquid this year as they move to 2-0 to kick off the spring split. Double Lift, though,
confident.
Very confident. I mean, he's normally a confident dude, but the way he's talking there, you're starting to wonder, like, what are they thinking? 16-2, 17-1,
undefeated.
Undefeated regular split.
Just called already. He's like, I don't need to have my brain on. I don't need to open my mouth. I don't even need to breathe or show up like they would 4v5. He's just hyping his team to the
anyway.
moon.
Mike, I mean, 7-1-4 performance there for Double It in that game. But a stark contrast in game pacing between this one and the Cloud9 game that we just saw. It felt like, I don't want to call it inaction because CLG was looking to make moves, it seemed, in the early game, but TL just felt unpressured. They felt like, they were waiting for those 2-3 items and then decided to win the game.
I think all things considered, they have a better team fight, especially come late game, and I think they're confident that they're the better team than CLG. So they have all these pretty well-scaling picks, good team fight, and they're just going to sit back and say, like, if you don't beat us in the first 20 minutes of the game, we beat you. And it was on CLG to make plays.
Right, so, like, you have Desire versus Lucian, right? One's going to scale a lot harder than the other, and all that CLG really has going for them is, like, diving and early game team fightings. Because the later the game goes on, you're not going to be able to kill Xayah, because all your dive is basically, like, magic damage, and he's going to build the Q sets, and he just doesn't die anymore.
Yeah, it's important to note that Fallen Bandit and Wiggly came in today, replacing Moon and Darshan, who played on stage yesterday. So their first time out on the LCS stage for the split. And I think part of what you're talking about, you saw the urgency or the need to make plays very early on, that level 2 gank that kind of went awry. And then we fast forward to some of these Drake fights where they were just not in sync.
No, I mean, this is a great fight to start, and it's really discoordinated by TL, but then Fallen Bandit runs all the way around the backside of the pit to join up with his front line and then try and flash onto the back line. He could have gone up and around or flashed the pit to do the exact same thing and not get so disjointed. Plus, he used his rush to get in there. This time around, they're trying to blow a lot of cooldowns out of CoreJJ. They're going to get his ult. They're going to get the stopwatch. Great start to a potential Drake fight, but then Fallen Bandit just runs way too far forward.
Right, I would have really appreciated if Fallen Bandit exercised some patience that Dragon fight. He already zoned the rest of the members with his ultimate, so he can just sit on top of the Soundra and kill that and then move forward if he needed. And then here it just shows a little bit of the lack of synergy that they have. You see a Wiggly going in, ulti, and then starts running out. As he's running out, Biofrost goes in, and then finally after Biofrost goes in, then 6 is like, oh, my team's engaging. Okay, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, they get saved by a poor TP from Impact there to at least pick up one kill, but continued dis-synergy throughout the game from the CLG squad.
Yeah, and eventually, you know, they get 3 Infernal Drakes on Team Liquid side. They were coming out with extra kills in those fights, and out of nowhere, it's, you know, a 3K gold lead with better scaling comp and tons of extra bonus damage. It kind of felt unwinnable by CLG past a certain point.
Right. So for all intents and purposes, TL looks quite strong at the beginning of the season. We had, we had concerns on whether or not they would, look super clean early on, bringing in these new players, but they do. Again, Jensen, one of the new additions, 2-0-4 in this game, so a solid scoreline for him, Deathless, and playing into again a matchup against Power Evil. Where yesterday he played the Xerath into the Lissandra. Crown got the better of him. Today he goes for the Orianna, and Jensen still gets the better of him.
Right, so you have to look at what happened in that game. He got an Ocean Drake, a 6-man Ocean Drake with a double Dark Seal. Now, you should expect him to have a lot more pressure into that lane because he does well versus Lissandra in the first place. Now he has an Ocean Drake on top of that, and he's a strong 2v2. But you still saw that Jensen came out with a CS lead in the beginning of the game. So there's something that he's doing right and Power Evil is doing wrong for him to not be able to crush that lane harder. Whether that's his electrocute or just he's playing because he's scared, I'm not entirely sure. But he should have been able to build like, some kind of advantage or some kind of pressure off of that.
Yeah, big picture for CLG. In their subreddit, Weldon was, posting. Their coach was talking about how they're doing these kind of roster swaps, and they had this plan from earlier in the week, and they're trying to get data on all their players and like the metrics they're evaluating them. We'll have to see if that pays off in the long term because that is a long-term decision. But I think right now you can kind of see the problems that they're running into with such a fluid roster.
Right. It's easy to see how scary it can be early on in the split when you are swapping so many different pieces of the puzzle, and it's very clear that the team is working through synergy issues. But if they believe this is their best opportunity to ultimately determining the starting 5, hey, maybe by week 3, 4, or 5, you just got to hope that they don't dig too deep a hole they can't climb back out of.
C9 last split showed there's no hole too deep. They were down, what were they, 2-8 or something?
I assure you, Mark, there is a hole too deep to climb out of when it comes to regular split standings. Up next, though, Clutch Gaming and TSM clash for Game 4. Don't touch that browser.
Off the map as a jungler, and then go to the top side and look at this.
Oh, hook
Onto
shot in.
Xmithie.
Quick kill onto Xmithie.
Come here, Pierre. Yeah,
Take it, Pierre.
no flash. Yeah, looking. Can I flash?
I can flash. Still wants more of it. A nice charm, a good hit, and Power of Evil is down. Fallen Bandit doing what he can in a 3v1, but it's not going to be enough as he also gets put in the shredder.
I'm trying to defend. Can I ever? Kying, Del Deador. Lucian got slow.
Lucian.
And then.
Yeah, had a pretty big fender bender here.
State Farm's got you covered, Mike.
That's great to hear. Robin?